I think I'm kind of addicted to this game. In the past day, this is how long I've played it. Now, don't get me wrong, not all of that time is me actually playing. A lot of it was AFK time while I did other stuff, so it's not as unhealthy as it sounds, but it's still not good. If you don't already know what this game's about by its name or anything, you run around and touch pieces of grass. Now, at the beginning, it seems really boring because you just have a few upgrades. You know, nothing's that fun, nothing's that amazing. But when I started playing this game over a year ago now, there was not much to this game yet. See, now a lot of people would quit after just these first few moments because there's nothing really to capture your attention. But if you play for a bit and start doing some prestiges and stuff like that, and eventually crystallize at level 101, then you'll understand why a lot of people play this game and why it hasn't died. Now, of course, I'm saying this from the perspective of someone who really enjoys this, is actually quite addicted to it now. Mainly because I haven't played this in a few months and need to catch back up with the updates. If you head on over to the wiki, you can see just how many updates they have in this game. A lot of it's new features, but there are also a ton of bug fixes and such. Every few days, they do something new. And from the surface, it doesn't actually look like there's a lot to do here, because the buildings appear as you go, and right now all you really have access to is this small grass field which barely generates any grass, this building right here which is still locked, and also a settings place, and stats too, but there's not much in there. You don't even have that many settings, and if we compare that to where I'm at now, there's so much more, so many more stats, so many currencies, levels. There are a ton more areas and things to do. There's even a whole section for space, which has its own regions. There are a ton of layers here in the normal world, like Prestige, Crystallize, Grasshop, Steely, and after those you're introduced to your second world, the Decelerated world. All the currencies here are completely different. It wipes all of the currencies from the normal world, and you're given something new, which you can spend on these new upgrades that would appear here that benefit you in the normal world. This has its own layers, where at level 31 you can do an anonymity, at 101 you can do a liquefy, at 201 you can do your first grass skip, and unlike Steely's at 221, Funify, you need 271 for your first time. What I find really unique about this is that you have to balance out your worlds. You have to get the upgrades here in all of its different layers and keep going back and forth between the two for many days worth of grinding as you're unlocking more things with steel, like the charger, rocket fuel, an assembler for more automatic upgrading, and some generation of resources automatically. And there are other smaller upgrades too, like momentum from rocket fuel and generating these rocket parts. And once you generate enough rocket parts, you can galactic, where you earn stars in this space world that you can spend on different upgrades that help you in every world. The thing about layered games like this, once you reset one higher level thing, it'll reset everything below it too. So you're earning these upgrades that'll help you later on, but technically in the moment reset everything you have. As you progress, you're given new ways to make money in different ways, and new goals you have to reach to get other upgrades, like these flower upgrades. If you didn't quit after the first few minutes of this game, then you'll find yourself in a spot like this guy here. A great number of people who play this game are in very early game, although they've still put many hours into this game. It's very addicting, and because of the amount of ways you can generate currency and the different upgrades and resets you have to do to get those, it makes you think you're far in already. Well, when I started this game, I didn't even have a feature to check the hours I've played, but just for reference, what I've played recently to get only a little bit of progress in the past week, 40 hours. Again, a lot of that's AFK. Now, I do say it is just a little bit of progress, but it's actually a lot, because my highest level a week ago was probably in the 400s or 500s, and now it's in 700s, and I unlocked multiple new reset types. But just compared to how much there is in this game, it's really not that much at all. That's why this game is so addicting. You get as far in as you can and think you're progressing so much, and you only want to reach the end where they haven't updated to. And for me, it's a desire to want to be caught up with all the updates they've posted, because early in this game, the reason I have the veteran title, I was pretty much caught up with all the updates they were doing. And it was a really good feeling, you know, to be one of the top players, to know that you don't have to play that much more to be caught up with the pace of the game. But no, then I forgot about the game and didn't play for months, and I fell so far behind that I don't even know how much is ahead of me right now. But I always see all these players with super weird things displayed above their head in their stats that I didn't even know existed before I saw it, because all this stuff appears as you go. Things are locked and blocked off until you unlock them. I just didn't even realize how much this game had grown in the time that I didn't play, and I want to get caught back up, but then that leads to an addiction.